book lovers, it is GSwiz here, and I am here today to talk about the manga that I want to read in 2021. First of all, can we address how ironic it is that I'm wearing the exact same shirt today, but this is a completely different day? Second of all, I actually filmed this video a month ago because it was a 7 on Sunday topic for a month ago. I had no internet due to moving in and out. There will be a couple of 7 on Sundays or pre-filmed videos like that. Just be aware because I might mention it. If you didn't know, this is actually a 7 on Sunday topic. I will link the 7 on Sunday Goodreads page down in the description where you can check it out and you can participate in a topic in the future if you want to. Now, this week's topic on the 7 on Sunday page is not necessarily just about manga. It could be manga, graphic novels, or comic books. Because manga seems to be the primary graphic picture option that I've been gravitating towards and I've been collecting as of recently. I know I might make my way back to comic books soon. At the moment I'm reading a lot of manga, therefore I'm going to be talking about some manga that I'm really excited to read. Now, all the manga that I'm going to mention on this list are manga series that I do own, so I'm not going to be mentioning manga series that I plan to buy, such as Mob Psycho 100. I really want to read that in manga form. Also, potentially Jujutsu Kaisen. Everyone is raving about that one. Maybe even Fruits Basket. I'm really excited to read Fruits Basket, but I don't own any of them yet. So manga like that I will not be mentioning, only because not guaranteed that I will receive any of them or purchase any of them this year. I've got to focus on my manga TBR at the moment. So without further ado, I'm gonna get started in this TBR for you guys so you guys can see what manga I am currently interested in and I want to read. So first of all, I have to mention The Promised Neverland. I know I mentioned this one on my channel a fair bit. I am happy to say that I am caught up at the moment, but at the end of volume 17, if any of you guys have read the manga series, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you are following the manga series and have not caught up, at least in the English translation, 17 will break you. The end of 17, oh my goodness, that was one of the biggest cliffhangers that I could have possibly imagined. I don't know how a specific character is gonna get out of the mess that they made after all that they've manifested within them to get to that point. Camilla and I actually started watching season 2 this morning. The series at the moment being caught up. I know it's gonna take a few years to see what I'm currently reading in the series to be adapted. Well, that didn't age well. But that being said, it is really good. It's also terrifying. And I'm not usually good with horror, but The Promised Neverland just kept me reading. Really looking forward to seeing what is going to happen next in the series. And the second one I have to mention is kind of a given, Demon Slayer. From what I know, Demon Slayer in the English translation has 4 more volumes to come out. So between volumes 20 and 23, I have currently just finished volume 19, and Camilla and I are literally waiting for them to publish these volumes in English so that we can read them as soon as possible. So that's what we've been doing, and it's been absolutely great doing that and great being caught up, but at the very same time, sometimes it takes around at least a month and at most a few months. I just hope that it doesn't have a rushed ending. I hope that it has a very good payoff, because the series really does deserve a good payoff, considering that there are a lot of us fans who are rooting for it and we support it. Please make us happy. Another manga series that I've got to mention on this list is Fullmetal Alchemist. Yes, I've started this. I actually started Fullmetal Alchemist, the manga, yesterday. I read volume 1. I've actually started both the animes, I think between episodes 4 and 5, both animes, and then I've read the first volume, and what I can say is I think at the moment it's just a little bit repetitive because I've gone through almost the same introduction again and again and again. This being said, I'm finally going to read the manga and push past this beginning that I keep on reading, like their backstory and then telling someone not to use alchemy to bring someone back. I'm so used to only knowing about that in Fullmetal Alchemist. I just want to know more. I want to understand this world like everybody else does, and I want to be able to love it just as much as everyone else does. That is why I'm very much looking forward to it, and I've got like these special editions on my shelf. I have no excuse. I've been collecting these special editions. I'm really hoping that it's going to be one of my new favorites. And then, of course, my favorite manga of last year, Beastars, is on this list. I am so excited to continue on with Beastars, but you know what's infuriating? Beastars in Japan is already completed. Like, the series is fully complete at the moment, and here in Australia, or like in any English-speaking country, only up to volume 9 has been translated in English. That is infuriating because I probably will not know the entire season 2 plot until I actually watch season 2. Not until I read season 2. No, season 2 is gonna come out on Australian Netflix pretty soon and I'm really excited about it, but you know, I kind of wanted to read at least season 2 before I watched the TV show. That's okay, that's fine. They pretty much do the TV show accurately, but I love the art style so much, and so I wanted to experience an entire season in that art style, in that way of being translated. But you can't always get what you want. I had to accept that. What I do know is that it's coming out in 2021, and I'm really excited for it. I have a list, and I have not been looking at it. I've just been speaking from the heart and the memory. The next manga series that I want to read will be Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3. So I own up to the end of Part 3, and I do want to start collecting Part 4 this year. I'm pretty sure that they've translated mid Part 4 in English, and so potentially I won't be able to read the entirety of Part 4 this year. So I made a bit of a mistake by mentioning that Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, the future parts, are not translated in English. They actually are, but they have not been published as bind-ups yet, like the ones that I have. They've published up to the middle of Part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable, but I am just waiting for them to just continuously publish the series, and that's how I'm going to attempt to read it, only because I'd prefer to have the option to take it out with me on public transport rather than bringing my laptop everywhere with me. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Really excited to read Diamond is Unbreakable, but I've got to focus on Part 3, the Stardust Crusaders. And I started the Stardust Crusaders last week because Camillo actually put it onto my TBR for the month of January, so that was really exciting. And man, it's bringing me back so many memories, so much nostalgia, and I'm just gonna get that the entire time while reading the Stardust Crusaders. So really looking forward to going through the Stardust Crusaders manga. And we move into a fantasy manga series, and that, my friends, is Grand Blue Fantasy. Now I am currently 4 volumes into Grand Blue Fantasy. I've got 3 volumes left of what has been published so far in both Japanese and English. From what I know, there isn't even a volume 8 in Japanese yet. So I'm hoping that the series does continue because I'm really enjoying it so far. I also started watching the anime, I'd say, at the very beginning of this year, and I really enjoyed it. I love following these characters. It just feels so wholesome, but also it's kind of a very different anime fantasy story. Also, another thing to mention, the manga has an amazing art style. It is beautiful. Camillo loves it himself. He hasn't even read anything about it, but he bought a Grand Blue Fantasy art book and he's just obsessed with it. The final manga series that I want to talk about that I definitely do want to prioritize this year is a manga series that I'm 2 volumes into at the moment because only 2 volumes have been published in English. As soon as the 3rd volume gets published or is put into a bookstore, I am going to run in, grab it, purchase it like there is no tomorrow, and I'm gonna read it straight away. And that, my friends, is Spy Family, or Spy X Family. This manga series is so good. It is a comedy that involves a fake family where the father is a spy, the mother is an assassin, and the child is a telepath. And oh my goodness, the dynamics are amazing. It is so entertaining, and I really wish that everybody just jumped onto this series. It is really good. It is worth all the hype if you have been seeing hype. This year, I'm going to continue following this series. It is just one of the funniest manga series that I've read, and I highly recommend it. It's a fun time. Now I'm going to go into 5 series that I am currently not reading, and I have not started yet in manga form, but I want to get to this year, and I want to also prioritize. Series number 1 I'm going to mention is a series that I did put on my Halloween TBR for last year, and that never worked out. So I'm going to be talking about Death Note. Death Note is a kind of manga that you go to if you want something creepy but suspenseful to read, which is what everyone's done, and everybody was really excited during the Halloween season to read it. I mean, I literally saw people on my GOODREADS reading it, and I'm thinking, oh, that should be me, but it's not me. So no, I did not read Death Note for Halloween last year. Maybe I should do it at the time that I want to, or I'm more motivated to read it, because from what you guys have seen me talk about, you guys already know that there's a lot of manga that I really do want to consume this year, and I really do want to prioritize, and for some reason I do love the Death Note anime. Don't get me wrong, I really do. Like, it's one of my favorite animes. The thing is, I'm just not prioritizing it as much because I'm so invested in some other manga. Maybe I have too much manga on my TBR. No, there's never too much manga on your TBR. The next manga series that I definitely do want to get into this year is another manga series that Camillo put on my TBR for the month of January. That is the Land of the Lustrous. I loved the anime adaptation. It is amazing. If you guys have not seen it, it is in 3D, but trust me, like really good 3D, like really good effects. I highly recommend watching the adaptation, but I want to read the manga, and also I want to see what happens afterwards because it just left on some sort of a cliffhanger. I didn't even know that there was going to be like a second season at all. I thought to myself, okay, you know, like this is probably just going to be a full series. No, they've pretty much got to finish the effects of the series because it would be a pretty expensive and pretty time-consuming series to make. I want to know what happens next after that season finale. It's going to be read this year. Now this is another series that I am not like the most keen on, but I do want to challenge myself to read it because Camilla really loves the light novel adaptation of the series, and also it's going to be adapted into an anime this year. So I do kind of want to read So I'm a Spider So What. Actually no, I have read the first volume, so technically this is one that I am continuing. But no, I actually kind of dropped it for a bit because I was thinking to myself, no, it's not for me. But considering that the anime adaptation is going to be coming out, I thought to myself, maybe that is probably going to motivate me to continue on with the series and see if it's any better, because as much as it was okay, it was just like a 3 out of 5 star read from me. It's a story of survival because a girl gets turned into a spider, and I think to myself, doesn't really seem that great, but I've been told that it's really good, and it's a very good story that shouldn't be missed out on. It seems cheesy, but it's not really that cheesy. It actually has a really good plot, but also really good character development for the girl who does get turned into a spider. I might get reading to it soon. The next manga series I'm going to be mentioning is a manga series that I have watched the first season of the anime adaptation of, and I really loved the anime. If you guys love superheroes, you will love this series. No guys, I'm not talking about My Hero Academia, okay? I get that in my recommended a lot. I actually started the anime and I could not continue it. I might continue it in the future. My Hero Academia, unfortunately, is on hold for the time until I potentially change my mind. I'm talking about One Punch Man. Oh my goodness, One Punch Man. I love Saitama, just makes me laugh so much. I love these characters. I love the world and the premise, even though there's not really too much plot because it's so centered around like one character. It's more character driven and it's more power driven as well, because Saitama has this power and he's just trying to find a challenge every single time, but he can literally obliterate someone in one punch. It never works out for him because he just wants to be challenged. He actually just wants a long fight, but no, he can defeat baddies very easily. And you'd think that that would literally be something that was super boring because the protagonist was overpowered, but no, like it goes into depth about how he just really wants a challenge. And you see that Saitama gets a sidekick as well who's trying to be as good as him but can't be as good as him. Like, it's just so great. Oh my goodness. One Punch Man season 1 of the anime is really good, and therefore I want to continue on with the manga because I heard that it only just gets better. I'm pretty sure Camillo read a bunch of the manga for a very long time, so that's why he recommended it to me. Next series that I am going to mention that I really do want to read is ReZero. Now, I purchased the first 2 volumes of ReZero from the book depository. They're on the way to me now. I am so excited to read the manga because I'm a big fan of the anime. I remember binge watching the entire season last year. I entered the fandom a bit too late because people literally had to wait like 5 years to get the second season, and yes, the fandom finally got the second season. I started the second season and I have not continued on with it because I'm trying to work out whether I want to continue on with it or whether I want to read the manga first. So yes, those are the options that I'm tossing up. We'll see how that goes. I think I love ReZero the most because I really do love the characters. So many feels. The last manga series that I will mention is a manga series that I am caught up on, but I potentially want to reread this year. Camilo and I have been talking about it. We were thinking that we should probably reread the series as the new editions come out. And that, my friends, is this series right here, Berserk. What I am going to at least attempt to do is catch up to the volumes that are already on my shelf, or like reread, catch up, and as the new bind-ups come out, read those bind-ups. Because Berserk, considering that it's 40 plus volumes at the moment, there's so much to follow and remember, and so there's a lot that I am only just starting to lose from my memory, and I just want to refresh myself because I love this series and I don't want to miss out on a single part of it if I just don't remember or I can't make a callback to something that happened in the previous volumes. I am planning to reread Berserk this year, and I plan to continually do that as the deluxe editions come out. So I guess that's gonna be it for this video today, book lovers. If you are just starting to get into manga like myself, even though I've read a whole lot of manga in the last year, I technically still do count myself as a new manga reader. But if you are a new manga reader, or if you've wanted to get into manga, I hope you found this video helpful for recommendations. Or if you like manga, if you want to recommend me any kind of manga that is pretty similar to the ones that I've mentioned, please do. My comment section is open. If you guys want to give me those recommendations, that would be amazing. I would totally love to receive those recommendations and try some new manga out in the future. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet already joined the amazing community of book lovers. And also, I have social medias. I'm at gswizzelbooks on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm also at GOODREADS. That's www.goodreads.com/gswizzle. Also, another thing that I forgot to mention, I also have a My Anime list, and so I'm going to be linking that in my description from this point on. So if you guys want to check out my anime list as well to see what I am watching and what I'm keeping track of in terms of series, it's all down there. You can see that. I love you, book lovers, and I will see you later. Peace.
Started out with half and I flipped it into double. Started out with half and I flipped it into double.